All right, everybody, I wanted to give you a real-world demonstration of this gimbal. I've got my GH5 on here with a fairly heavy lens. This is a 8 to 18 millimeter, and that's a Sigma lens. That's quite a bit of wide-angle glass on there, but we're gonna go ahead and actually start recording that. And we are going to walk around so that you can actually see how smooth it is. So we are doing a real-life real estate shoot here. We're just gonna kind of float through the house for just a minute so you can sort of see how I use this in a professional way. We're gonna go around here, around the island. Gonna see that. And so I suppose I could kind of play with the joystick there, but I really just kind of try to keep it as simple as possible. And if necessary, I could actually hit the focus wheel or the start stop button. But for this particular case, I'm just gonna try to get as much footage as possible and then edit this. So let's get a bit of the sync going around here. By the way, when you are doing this, you kind of want to hold it like a lightsaber, kind of out like that. So it's definitely a forearm workout, especially when you have a heavier lens like this. So we're gonna go back here. We're gonna sweep around there, get the rest of the room there. Very nice. And why not take a look at this right here? Very smooth, isn't it? So there you go, guys. The key is definitely to balance this thing. So we're gonna take it over here, and I'm gonna show you that once we hit stop, and now I'm gonna actually turn it off by doing this. And you'll see that even when it's off, I have it fairly well balanced. So the key is to try to get it as balanced as possible. So if we were to try to turn it on again, kind of turn that on like so. And oh, gotta hold it down a bit longer. There we go. And then this joystick here goes up and down. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and push record right there. And we're gonna go up and then down and then to that way and that way. And so I really don't try to use the joystick a lot as I'm flying. But if you need to do that, you can do that rather precisely with that little joystick down there. Righty, let's go ahead and take a look at this little gem right here. I just kind of slapped it together, still got some things hanging off, but hopefully this part of the video will actually save you time trying to decode the horrible instruction manual. It really is, okay? All right, so these are the main features. First of all, I've got it sort of balanced on there. Took me a really long time to try to figure it out. One hint that you will absolutely save you lots of time: don't tighten down everything. Like for example, the plate onto the bottom of your camera. Don't tighten it all down until you have it balanced. Then carefully try to dissect it and take it apart and then lock it down. That will save you a lot of having to go back, because that little screw in there is like 1, 2, 3, 3 layers deep. And it's really obnoxious to try to get to try to fine tune something. So it's not the most well balanced, but let's go ahead and turn this on. So we're gonna hold this down like so, check it out. And it resets. And now at this point, I could pretty much just go and just walk with it. But you're probably watching this part of the video because you actually want to see how maybe I put together the focus ring, which again, that little tail sticking off there is gonna bother me tremendously, but we'll address that later, okay? So I do have it all here. As you can see, it's kind of rotating like that when I do that. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Neat, neat, neat. So that's attached to the focus ring. And if we were to go over here and continue rotating that, this is how it looks from this perspective. Right there. Isn't that interesting? Right? Okay, now, first of all, if you're looking at this, see this little bar coming out right there? I actually had to take that apart with some Allen keys and Allen wrench right there and put it on that side. When it came from the factory, it was mirrored. It was on the other side. So you might have to take this off and put it on that side. Then and only then you'll be able to put that little iFocus intelligent ring thing on there, which corresponds to this, which I put it on there, kind of like a little zip tie type contraption. And then once that's on there, you pretty much just plug in the cable. So I've got one cable going from, you can kind of see it's going into here, directly into my GH5, and then a secondary cable going from the little focus thing, see this right here, plugging in under there. So there are two cables, just remember that, all right? Okay, now let's continue to kind of go through some of the main uses of this thing. So obviously we got the focus right there. If that's not working, try clicking the middle button a few times, because I was like, hey, it's not working. It's not, oh, that's because I have to click the middle button. And again, there we go. Now it's actually working, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and, in case you're wondering about the strange little L, and F on there, basically the L means lock, and the F means follow. And that corresponds to this little dial right down here. So you'll see that the pan function, obviously the pan function is when we're moving like this. See how it's actually floating with me? Well, let's go ahead and click the bottom one so that changes from F to L. Watch, 3, 2, 1, click. Now it's L on the bottom. Now watch, it's locked. It's continually pointing in one direction. It's not following me. I click that again and it should go back to F on the very bottom. See, now the pan is on F. And now it's not locked forward, and it's actually following me around. So you can do that for not just panning, but you can also do that for the roll and then the tilt as well. Pretty much I just address the pan on the bottom. I just pretty much leave the roll and the tilt the same for anything. But if you wanted to change those, then you just wouldn't push the bottom dial, but you would push the right over there. Oh wait, that's Q, that's gear mode. We want to address that right there. We're gonna go up, see that's F, which is lock, and then click it again. I'm sorry, follow and lock, there we go. We wanna keep it on, let's keep them all on follow. That's pretty easy, okay? So that way, when we are going around like this, if I want to tilt down, I want it to tilt down. And if I want it to tilt up, it will tilt up. Or maybe you want it to maintain its horizontal plane, and when you go like this down, you don't want it actually to go down. In that case, then we would change the tilt from an F to an L. There we go. By the way, if you ever do kind of get mixed up and it's kind of pointing in a weird direction, this trigger on the front, just double click that and it will reset. Check it out, 1, 2, 3. There, and it just adjusted itself and it kind of zeroed out. It went back to its default front on mode. You might have to do that if you get a little confused and mixed up and it's pointing in one direction and you want it to kind of reset, just double click that trigger on the very front. Easy enough? Okay, so there you go. I could start recording right there by clicking, sometimes I have to double click that, which is kind of strange. There we go. And then if I double click it again, it will stop recording on my GH5. There you are. All right, there's a down and dirty demonstration of this. Hopefully that helps, as opposed to, trying to dissect the instructions for 30 minutes. Hopefully this 6 minutes part of the video saved you a lot of time. All right, so overall, I have played with a lot of gimbals throughout my career. I will say that the Moza is the greatest bang for your buck when it comes to smoothness. When it comes to ease of putting it together, it's not. It's one of the worst. So bear this in mind, that if you think that you're going to have 20 minutes before your film shoot to get everything balanced and ready, that's a lie. You might need a bit more unless you're very, very experienced in this line of work. So as I just kind of slapped this together just to see if in fact it does work, I mean it does, but boy, it's got some annoying points. And I'll go up and trim this and balance it correctly, but for right now, it's absolutely going to be my go-to gimbal for real estate videography. And yeah, much, much more smooth than my other gimbals. So a great bang for your buck. The actual focus ring itself, honestly, I would not give that a very high rating, maybe about a 2 or 3 out of 5 stars. The entire gimbal as a whole, absolutely 5 out of 5 stars, highly recommended, but the actual focus, it's pretty annoying to try to put together. It really is. Once your camera is on here, And if you want to actually take it off, you're going to be like, oh no, I have to take it off. I just got the focus ring just dialed in. I guarantee you're going to say that. So be prepared to have your camera locked onto this thing if you're using the actual focus ring part. So that is it. Decent battery life, super, super smooth. And for that, I do give it a thumbs up. That's it. I hope that helps. My name's Beau. Catch you later.